Hey there, Dave Altavilla for HotHardware here with a rather unique laptop. First, it's one of the thinnest and lightest 15-inch convertible Ultrabooks on the market currently, but it's also powered by a very unique processor, otherwise known as Intel and AMD's love child chip, or Kaby Lake G, which is a combination of Intel 8th Gen quad-core processor technology, all on one chip with AMD Radeon RX Vega M graphics for some serious 1-2 punch in a well under 5-pound convertible. This is Dell's XPS 15 2-in-1. Let's take a look. So the new Dell XPS 15 2-in-1 is built very much like the rest of the Dell XPS product line, with its hybrid carbon fiber palm rest area and machined aluminum construction, that infinity edge display with very thin bezels all around. And if you remember the XPS 13 2-in-1 from last year, the XPS 15 2-in-1 is very much like that machine, just an oversized, if you will, a little bit larger 15-inch format. And of course, with those 360-degree swing hinges, the machine flips into full tablet mode, as you can see as well. But again, super premium build quality, machined aluminum all around on the lid and bottom area. Just really well built. Nice solid skid strips on the bottom here, venting. Good styling as well. A couple of speakers here on the bottom firing speakers, and chamfered edges in the aluminum. Really just super slick, clean, firm, solid feeling machine. And that 360-degree swing hinge mechanism is also really solid. No play at all when you are opening the machine and extending that lid. Just really feels super solid. Just a little bit over 4 pounds in total weight. And let's take a look at some ports. On the left edge, you get a pair of USB-C ports, one for powering and charging the device. Both of them are Thunderbolt capable, micro SD card slot, and then a battery level indicator LED strip here with an activation button. On the front, you have a charge and power status LED on the front edge here. Kind of hard to see, but really on that thin lip. And then on the right side, you've got another pair of USB-C ports, so all USB-C, headphone jack, and a lock port. And finally, down here in the bottom center of the display is Dell's Windows Hello capable webcam. They had to locate the camera down here because there's just not enough meat in the top of the display and that infinity edge bezel to locate the camera. But you know, not the most ideal camera angle for sure in terms of webcam positioning. However, you can flip the machine into tent mode. And so in this tent mode position with the webcam up top, you'll have to work in tablet mode with the on-screen keyboard, but mostly functional for some light duty Skyping or what have you. But probably one of the best features of the XPS 15 2-in-1 is its 15-inch Dell Infinity Edge display. This is the 4K panel. It is an IGZO display with 400 nits of brightness. Absolutely stunning display. 3840 by 2160 resolution. Supports 100% of the Adobe RGB color gamut. There's also a 1080p display that supports only 100% of the sRGB color gamut, but we can't say enough about this display. Great brightness, contrast, pop, excellent viewing angles, and of course Dell's super thin infinity edge bezel design all around. Really just a stunning display, and competitive, we would say, with OLED in some respects, just in terms of brightness and contrast. Maybe not quite the deep blacks of OLED, but competitive performance to OLED, we would say for sure. Really just a beautiful display. Another interesting and actually impressive update to the XPS 15 2-in-1 format is what Dell calls its Maglev Keyboard. And as you can see, we've got the standard chiclet style keycaps that we're familiar with from the XPS 15 line from previous generations. And frankly, the keycap travel is pretty shallow, less than 1 millimeter of travel in these key switches. However, they're enabled internally with almost a mechanical style switch that utilizes rare earth magnets. And it provides a nice tactile bump back, a little bit of tactile response that is actually quite satisfying and comfortable to use. Really compensates for that ultra thin format and that shallow key travel. It just feels great, and actually a very impressive, comfortable to use keyboard design as a result. But really the star of the show for the XPS 15 2-in-1 would have to be its processor, and that is a chip that goes by the name of Kaby Lake G, the result of a collaboration between two arch rivals in the PC processor space, and that's Intel and AMD's collaborative effort to incorporate Intel CPU technology on chip with AMD Radeon Vega graphics technology. Specifically, we have an Intel Core i7-8705G processor that turbo boosts up to 4.1 gigahertz and has 8 meg of on-chip cache, but it also has on board a Radeon RX Vega MGL graphics engine with 4 gigabytes of HBM2 memory for a nice 2-in-1 punch of CPU throughput and graphics performance as well. Here in Cinebench R15, we're going to score about 737 Cinebench points. Let's take a look at some graphics performance next. Kicking things off with a little bit of light-duty gaming here, we've got Grid Auto Sport at 1080p resolution, high image quality preset. As you can see, the game looks great. Nice game engine, a little bit dated at this point, but as you can see, frame rate is solid, smooth. Actually going to score about 70-75 frames per second, again at 1080p, high image quality preset in this game title. And finally, taking things up a notch here, a bit more strenuous in Rise of the Tomb Raider, 1080p resolution, high image quality preset with the DX12 code path selected. As you can see, frame rate is fluid and smooth. We're going to actually score about 45 frames per second in this game engine benchmark, which is impressive, totally playable. And for a sub 5-pound machine, hybrid 2-in-1 convertible laptop device, you can say we are impressed. And that is really attributable to that hybrid chip, the AMD Intel built Kaby Lake G processor on board this machine. In terms of battery life, with its 4K Infinity Edge display panel option, the XPS 15 2-in-1 is more middle of the pack. We recorded about 5 hours of untethered uptime in our HD video loop test. Your mileage may vary depending on your video player and video content of choice, but make sure you stop by HotHardware.com for our full review. The Dell XPS 15 2-in-1 retails starting at $12.99. I'm Dave Altavilla. Hit thumbs up and subscribe if you like this video, and get notified to our additional new content and our 2.5 Geeks webcast when we go live and we go streaming. I'm Dave Altavilla for HotHardware.com with the Dell XPS 15 2-in-1. Thanks for stopping by.